All right. It is the rundown. It is, man. I don't know what day it is.
You got this. Come on.
February.
No, definitely not.
No.
Wrong month.
January 20th.
It's the day of the national title game.
Come on.
Yeah,
You're off by a full week, dude.
I have no idea. I knew it. I
it's the
know.
27th.
Yeah, I just didn't know it. Like, I knew when I said that I was not even the right month. Sometimes things don't click.
February 20th.
Brain, Adderall, eating at it. Brandon and I will be heading to FanDuel tonight to watch the national championship live stream. PMT boys are out in Louisiana watching it. We'll get to the game in a bit. But FanDuel Sportsbook is now live. Pennsylvania, Jersey, West Virginia, Indiana. FanDuel ran an awesome new user offer this weekend for the NFL divisional round. They're running it back for tonight's game. We sign up with FanDuel with your promo code STOOL. Place a new bet. First bet, $20 or more on the team to cover, Clemson or LSU tonight. And if they win, you get another $20 for every passing touchdown. They got to cover every passing touchdown. You have the right team, you get an additional $20. Go to FanDuel.com/Stool. Sign up with promo code STOOL for your first bet touchdown bonus. I went to the bank, took out 25 grand. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet.
Just sitting on it.
When are you going to make that decision?
Are you
Is this a
waiting
game
for like
time
a
decision
moment,
for you?
like something to show you the way?
Second to second, it is shifting. I started early. I started on Ohio State. I thought they'd go to the national championship. Then I switched to Clemson prior to the Final Four. And then what Ohio State did to Clemson and what LSU did, I guess, in the SEC championship all the way to Oklahoma, I went back to LSU. Everyone now, LSU this, LSU that. The spread's up to 5. Casey's like, oh, obviously it's LSU, has made me think Clemson again. So now I'm back on LSU a little bit. What?
I do. I think LSU is going to win. I think LSU is going to win comfortably. But he's not going to bet based on what I'm thinking.
Well, no, he's saying that because I'm so confident in LSU covering 5.5 that he's going to bet Clemson. He thinks they're going to win by at least 14.
I think you're a square.
Why?
I just think you're like, obviously LSU, and it's making me now lean towards Clemson.
All right, I have a
That's not
stat.
a square
I have a
pick.
stat.
No, that's a square. I feel like the squares are on LSU.
Underdogs are 5-0 in this game against the spread. 5-0. Are they going to go undefeated forever, or are they going to lose tonight?
So that's the square pick.
No, I don't think.
I'm just giving him some information. That's all.
What does open at? 3?
Case by case basis.
3.5 or 4, I think.
Yeah, let's keep going.
It's edged up, but
it's
stayed at
square
5.5
in the
for like a
sense.
week and a half.
It's square in the sense like everybody's watched LSU just rip through everybody, and Clemson look vulnerable. So like square, it's like, oh well, A plus B equals C, and I don't know if that exists.
I think that Clemson is going to keep it close because I think Clemson is better than people are giving credit for, but they've not seen an offense like they're going to tonight the entire season.
I think figuring
not a
out
square
exactly how good Ohio State was or is will help you win this bet.
What's that?
Yeah, I think figuring out how good Ohio State was or is going to help you win this bet.
And then there's also the option, which I've thought from strictly gambling, but it gets tricky. I don't know if I can take we're getting into the real fundamentals that have nothing to do with the game. If I can take my cash, show up at FanDuel, say, here you go, put it into my account, and then I can live bet. In which case, if I watch the first drive or 3 minutes,
right,
I think I'm going to have a much better handle on what's happening, and the odds aren't going to shift that much.
So you will be an actual pistol on that show if you're live betting 25 grand.
Correct.
Didn't you do that last year?
No.
You didn't live bet?
Nope.
So
it was just one cash because it's harder to put money. I tried to deposit, so it's a to-do to put that much money in my account, and I don't know if you can do it, in which case then I just do the pregame bet and I'm off and running. And if I do it, I'm doing it. If I take Clemson, I guess we're going to talk national championship first.
Yeah.
If I take Clemson, I'm going money line. I'm not going to bother with the points.
This is a storyline pick for me. Forget about the betting aspect of it. The story of Ed Orgeron and the story of Joe Burrow coming from Ohio State. Ed Orgeron getting cast aside years ago and everybody laughing when he got hired. It's meant to end in the Superdome with a national title. It's a storyline pick.
I usually agree with all that, but I feel like you would be much more of a logical guy when it comes to this shit.
Oh, I'm not even kind of logical. I am 100%
You're all
with my
about
heart and storyline.
Like it's
yes.
a movie.
Yes, and it makes sense. The Ed Orgeron story arc concludes in New Orleans.
It makes perfect sense, but
that is also the disrespect of Clemson because you could argue they're a better story if they win.
If they win, their story is incredible.
Storyline.
Maybe the greatest football team of all time.
And they will have come in. They would have been disrespected against Ohio State.
Right.
They were number 3 seed despite never losing. and then winning
what makes
in
you
New
think that
Orleans would be an
storyline
incredible story.
is, you
I
know,
just like the
second
Ed
to
Orgeron
greatest
thing.
team never to be
You just
favored
like
in the
Ed
national
Orgeron.
title.
Ed Orgeron is just a movie. It's what his life is.
But that's just you liking that more than the Dabo and
I don't
Trevor
think I
Lawrence
like
story.
either one of them. I've
The
never
most
liked LSU.
disrespected greatest team of all time.
That's what they can play,
Dave,
and that's
didn't you
certainly
say
what
that
they've been
Ohio
playing.
State should have won that game.
Yeah.
So you think Clemson is just all of a sudden that much better?
If he thinks Ohio State was the best team in the country, he thinks they've already beaten the best team.
I don't. The X factor is how good was Ohio State.
That's the question.
Well, right, but on the college football show, you're like, Ohio State should have won that game. Clemson
Exactly.
didn't win it. Ohio State lost it.
Right.
So why can they all of a sudden now beat LSU?
Because what if Ohio State's just far better than LSU?
And you think that?
I don't know.
These are the questions we are
Therein lies the
pondering.
problem. To
Ohio
bet
State is a
$25,000.
major.
Yeah.
Ohio State is a major X factor. They could be the best team and they fucked up, but just the fact that Clemson was in the game, I think if Ohio State beat Clemson, I 1,000% would be betting on Ohio State. That makes any sense.
Just because LSU played Oklahoma?
No, but I think that I think
You don't
that
Ohio
think- you don't
State
think
proved
that-
to me that
Yeah.
they were like the real deal.
beating a good team like that is a lot more tangible than like,
Correct.
well, we don't know what they
Right.
were. It's like
But-
they won that game because they're a good team.
If Clemson comes around and dicks around the first quarter like they did against Ohio State, LSU will bury them.
Right.
Ohio State didn't bury them. Their offense wasn't good enough to bury them. LSU will be. And in that building, once you fall behind, it's going to be hard.
Well-
They got to start faster than they did against Ohio State. So the live betting might make sense. If Clemson comes out and
It's not even fall behind. I think you're going to see right away like what's going
What's
on.
going to happen.
The tenor of the game is not going to be after the first. Each team has the ball once. I'll know.
well,
Do you think Joe Burrow is better than Justin Fields?
I'm actually surprised you don't live
Yes.
bet more often.
So that's
I feel like when you watch a game,
and live
you're very
betting is
good
much
at, like,
more exhilarating anyway.
seeing the Matrix.
but it's also like
yes.
it's just a lot. It's a lot.
When you're betting that much
Yeah.
money.
I
too.
feel almost like it's like
usually-
surrendering in poker. Like you should place your bet and
Yeah.
like get or blackjack. Just
ride
get
with
out.
it. Yeah.
But I feel like there's so much value sometimes when like you're on, the
There
team
is. There's
losing in the
also-
moment.
There is no correlation between first half football and second half football. That's like one of the great tricks in the history. Like it just doesn't matter.
when
To
you
her
gonna
question,
decide?
Joe Burrow is better than Fields.
Right.
When are you going to decide though? I mean, on this 25.
What's going to tip it?
I don't know. It's going to be a feel thing. And I can already tell you this: if I win, I'm not leaving with it. I'm putting on Tennessee.
I expected to go back and forth Clemson LSU over these 2 weeks, but I've stayed with LSU.
I'm back and forth like a motherfucker.
Are you susceptible right now to like a tip or a fuck? I feel like
he's
It's hard
very
to get a
susceptible.
tip
not a
in like.
tip, but necessarily a feel.
What I'm
Mush
sus-
says
But if
something
he
and all
walks
of a sudden
outside
you-
and there's a Clemson flag flying,
That's what I
he's
mean.
been
Yeah,
playing.
Yeah.
I did notice that somebody's wearing an orange sweatshirt. Today.
Well, the pussy eater, Bob, is wearing a Clemson hat.
Correct. Now, which is wild in its own respect. His dad went to they're from South Carolina. His dad went to South Carolina because he didn't get into Clemson, and they still root for Clemson. Have some self-respect.
Wait,
Paul.
hold on.
you got
Clemson's not
disrespect.
harder to get into than South Carolina, is it?
Apparently,
That's weird.
someone was wearing. Maybe it was Jack Mack. I don't know.
Well, don't.
Also, what sways me is if I can't watch the pregame because it's gonna be all LSU outside the Superdome. Like they're giving blowjobs to Dabo. That video, this thing in neck in the streets. That shit
Yeah.
sways me. It has nothing to do with it because in the stadium it'll probably be 50-50 because the tickets are allocated.
That neck video was pretty good, though.
Yeah.
That was electric.
It'll
I
be
know.
50-50, but I feel like being in New Orleans.
Make
I
sure
don't
those
think it'll
videos
be
are in there.
50-50. I think it'll be 65-35.
Well, as a guy who's gone to 1 million Super Bowls, it will be 50-50.
Super Bowls are different than national championship games.
Well, one's Super Bowl, one's for pros, one's for college.
That's true.
Correct.
But LSU's been in the spot before, and outside of the Alabama game, which regional wasn't that big of a difference, they dominated the Oklahoma game in 2003. They had 80-20 that night.
Where?
It was in the Superdome.
For
It was the Sugar Bowl in 2003. LSU had a dominant home field advantage that night against Oklahoma.
Your brain is something special, man.
I know.
yeah, but
179th in my high school class.
but
Out of.
182.
hold on.
Yes.
LSU.
What was that a playoff situation?
No, that was
No,
back in the
2003
BCS
is-
championship game. That was a BCS championship game Remember when USC got left out and we had the split title situation?
Yeah.
It was Oklahoma LSU in the Sugar Bowl, and Oklahoma was just done because the LSU crowd was incredible.
But I mean, in general, I don't think you can expect it to be 50-50 just given the location.
Oh.
I know what you're talking about allocated tickets, but just like in
No,
New
but
Orleans, it's going
allocated
to
tickets,
be.
Clemson travels. So they're not gonna give up their tickets.
But isn't it the allocations are like 40% one team, 40% the other team, and 20% townies?
Okay, so even 60-40 then it's not that big of a deal.
I just think it's going to be an advantage. I think it's going to be more of an advantage than you think.
I think it's going to be less advantage than you think. And last thing on college football, have you made contact with your new coach who I asked publicly if he's allowing you into the program?
I have talked with the SID at Mississippi State, and he is setting up a summit that I will be talking to Mike Leach very soon about the future of the I'm a very, very important part of the future of the program, and that's what we're going to.
You better hope he sees that way and can overlook. I know if somebody talked about me the way you talked about him,
that's revisionist history. I barely said anything. I just said I didn't like his millennials comment. That's all I said about him.
He hates Mike Leach.
I don't hate Mike Leach.
He wants to
I'm
make
just about
bills.
tired of Mike Leach saying cutesy, funny things.
He said it's like a blindfold, but except like a mask. Or it was
So
a
you
whole
think
thing.
he's become self-aware?
I believe he has. I think he knows his brand. He knows he's expected to say these things, and that's why he says them. I have been Mr. Mike Leach the whole
I
time.
would set up that summit and give him false hope, and then at that summit, I would just shit
it's
down
good
your
for
fucking
us.
throat.
Well, either way, if
then
he
what's-
exiles you, it's good. If he lets you in, it's good.
How would it be good if he exiles me?
we'd
How
make
is
fun
that
of you
good?
forever.
Well, you're going to do that anyway.
Yeah, but we have
But
some
we
ammo
need-
here.
Well, then he'd create some sort of rift, and that could be a storyline.
I mean, I would love
right.
nothing more than Mike Leach to take that program to prominence, and you're on the outside looking
right.
in the whole time.
That would
Kill
absolutely
you,
crush
right?
me.
Yeah.
That would fucking crush me.
All right,
So
so
that'd be
we
great.
started with college football again, live stream tonight at FanDuel. Starts at 8, I believe we'll be doing it. Now the NFL playoffs. Shocking, I would say. Obviously, the Titans, the way they just destroyed the Ravens. I didn't think I'm not sold on the quarterback. Haven't been sold on the quarterback. You just can't win with that type of gimmick shit. I don't think.
160 yards in 2 games on your way to the AFC Championship game is bananas. It makes no fucking sense.
Oh, you're talking about Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
He's talking about Tannehill.
Oh no, I'm talking
wait,
about
you
Lamar
opened up
Jackson.
talking about okay.
No,
Well, you said you're not sold on the quarterback after saying the Titans, so I thought you meant
Well, I
Tannehill.
meant the
Like,
Titans
of course you can't be
beating.
sold.
Yeah, the Ravens got beat because of that gimmick shit.
I was never sold on them.
Right.
The running quarterbacks, great, until the same type shit always seems to win in the postseason. So I guess I shouldn't have been that surprised. I am surprised. I am stunned that Tennessee is still that big of an underdog going into Kansas City to a team, to me, that is a dream matchup for Tennessee.
Let me tell you what I'm stunned about. The most important player in the playoffs so far has been a running back.
Right, unusual.
And we're not in a league where that is the case. And
Throwback.
Derrick Henry has absolutely dominated the playoffs. He broke Baltimore's back on several occasions the other night. He didn't really do it to New England as much, but he's been the player of the playoffs, and that's
Well,
shocking.
you did run it down our throat. I did say also, which I maintain, if Tennessee continues this run, which I absolutely think they can do, I'm going to become very depressed that we lost to them.
I think
it
you're
would've
going
been
to be
all you.
relieved of that. I think Kansas City has needed someone like Tennessee to bulldoze the other contenders out of the way, and I think Kansas City is now going to win that game.
But don't you think Kansas City is that team still that you can just run it down their throat?
I feel-
Like you just said, the running back.
I feel like that is definitely their weakness, but in this, they don't have to worry about the Ravens, the number 1 seed. They don't have to worry about the Patriots, that aura. Now they can just worry about winning this football game,
well,
and
that's
all
why-
the monkeys are off their back. I think Kansas City wins.
Well,
this
that's
game.
why when they were down 24-rip, it was like the stars and the moons finally aligned for Andy Reid. And it looked like he was going to absolutely botch it again. But I feel like if
coaching
if
in the
Tennessee
second quarter
keeps-
of-
oh my God, it was the worst.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Not going
That was a
for
direct,
it on
like-
4th and 1, and then the fake punt. Yeah, it didn't work
The
out.
logic
no,
there
they
made
may
no
not. I
sense.
mean, it's tough to blame a 50-0 run on like 1 or 2 coaching decisions, but still change the tenor of the game.
Oh.
Yeah, setting tone is very important in the playoffs.
It is.
And when he changed the tone, it was
Yeah,
over.
Right.
I
But
feel like if Derrick Henry can keep doing what he's doing, though, like they're just going to keep rolling.
Yeah, but again, can he keep doing what he's doing? Like Patrick Mahomes.
I feel like he's going to give like 1 or hopefully 2 more games, and then like his career will never be the same. But
just
he
don't know
fucking
how-
left it all out there.
I don't know if you can grind it out against a Kansas City offense that can just pop for 50 at any
you
moment.
can. I think you can.
Also, isn't it just fucking crazy, especially with Tannehill being the quarterback, that you don't just do everything in your power to stop Derrick Henry and
Well,
just
I
let
mean,
the chips
they
fall
are.
where they
They
may?
are,
Still
though.
I know,
That's the
but
problem.
I mean, it just seems like impossible that
He
you
just
can't.
wears you down
But
and
the
wears you down.
49ers are very similar. I mean, the 49ers had, when's the last time? It's like the old Emmitt Smith Cowboys. They had a drive, they ran the ball every play.
40
and
times,
scored a touchdown.
And they're different. They run like 3 or 4 running backs at you and just.
And they have a very good defense. The Niners are for real. And the Packers game, I know we're talking about, I saw Hubs in his little like Hawkeye thing. The yellow line's right. The yellow line is always right.
I mean,
I'm not
I don't
buying
think it
anybody who's
was in
putting a
that
red
case,
line.
though.
It was right. In fact, I saw an angle, if anything, it was a little bit off. That was the wrong call. People are like, oh, the yellow line is unofficial. The yellow line has been the most official thing we have in this American society for the last like
that
100
one
years.
picture with the red line.
I don't.
You just
what? That's just Packer propaganda. The yellow line is
But isn't the red line
always
drawn
right.
like where the marker
The
was?
yellow-
though?
the-
where the yardage, like
I
the
don't
yard
know what
line
the-
was?
I watched, conservatively speaking, a bazillion hours of football
Yeah.
over the past decade. The yellow line has never been wrong.
Yeah, no,
Not
I'm
once.
generally with
I think
you,
it
but-
should be official.
So
It
then-
is official.
It
So
should
when
be official.
someone, you think someone else just made up the red line?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the red line
Packer
shits.
propaganda.
Yeah,
It's
Packer-
been a problem
And by
for
the way,
years.
I mean that was only third down. I don't think it's the end of the world if they.
Well,
I mean,
it's a pretty
no,
big
it's
play.
big. It's big. But
I mean, it's
it
fourth down. You
wasn't
bring
like it was-
everybody up.
Right, but if it was fourth and that was it, I think it's a very different situation than if it was on third. Given
It's still
that
not great.
situation.
Still ended the game. I think my Super Bowl. Now I said I think the Packers are going. It wouldn't shock me if they go in and beat San Francisco, and I think Tennessee. I think
Do you-
I
are
think
See, I go the
are
opposite. I
you-
think Chiefs Niners myself. I
well,
like.
that's 2 favorites, so it's not
Are
crazy.
you like pro Vrabel or?
I like
or
Vrabel.
kind of- yeah.
I love Vrabel. The only issue I have is what I said. I thought the Patriots, watching, if they go in and do the same exact thing to the Chiefs, and it's like, I know we should have beat them, then that's going to haunt me. Like, I get haunted when I think I let Super Bowls slip through my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we have 6. Sorry, I want 10. Although, another note, I saw Vegas odds. Brady coming back to the Patriots 1-3 in Vegas. That pretty much means done deal.
Yeah. So wait, by the way, though, I mean, you with Tannehill as quarterback, do you think they can? It just blows my mind to me that he's throwing for 80 fucking yards a game.
Doesn't matter.
It's
They're
crazy,
running
though.
the football down
I
people's
know, but
throats.
it
And I
just
think
seems
San Francisco Kansas City, by far has the worst defense of these 3
They're
games.
just gonna keep
I
running.
think
on
it's
him.
also a little misleading on his second game though, because he threw for 2 touchdowns
Yeah,
to give
one-
them the 14-0 lead, and then they just ran out. They
the
just
clock, yeah.
gutted him with Derrick
Yeah.
Henry. That was the game plan.
Big news in MLB. Have we heard from Carbis yet?
Yeah, he's on a plane.
No, but an update, they got fired also.
The Astros fired him.
So they got fired, or Hinch and Lundho got suspended for a year. The Astros just fired him.
So
also.
the suspension really,
But
that's
wait.
almost like a tit for, like, oh, you're going to suspend him? I'll fire him. Your suspension now is a useless penalty.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the
So
way,
that doesn't affect them at all as a franchise.
Well,
I mean, it affects them, but it's like it's
very
not like
much
they're-
affects them.
No, but it's not like you're not gonna
like the-
have.
That's kind of it's a real dick move because these guys are probably done in baseball. Those 2 guys, and the Astros are now going to move
which is
on.
crazy.
But like, I don't think it affects them in the sense like, what if AJ Hinch just decided to retire this season? It would be the same situation. You're now just on a coaching.
I don't
hunt.
know if it's GM. MLB managers to me are
Doesn't mean
kind of
anything.
like, well, maybe not if they're doing this stuff, but
But like in a day-to-day,
it's
especially
not
an
a,
American League manager,
it's not a
day-to-day.
Sean
doesn't-
Payton, New
No,
Orleans Saints,
no.
which Goodell gutted the franchise with that move.
Right.
I mean, you can't just take a baseball.
It's
and even draft picks, like, who cares?
Well,
The draft picks are a bigger deal than manager.
But
Manager's
they're
the
both like a number 1 in the NFL is not a number 1 in
No, it's not. You're
Major
right.
League Baseball.
because you pick
They're-
a number 1 in Major League Baseball, you get 3
there
years
really
away
are
from
though. Yeah, it's not going to be an immediate impact, but late first-round picks, if you look at some of the guys in the past couple of years, are good players. But it's not. It's obviously not immediate.
But if you're
it's
spending-
weird. I think the league did like the money, the picks, and the suspensions are pretty serious, but none of it really doesn't really impact them like in a death penalty type of way.
It's just really not that. Just imagine this happening in the NBA or the NFL. It would be the biggest story in all of America, not just sports. And this is.
It was,
this-
and there was nothing to it with the Patriots.
It was, but I'm just saying, like this one, this is a huge cheating scandal, and now the Astros have had to fire these 2 guys, suspended for a year, and just it's okay, whatever. I'm not mad at the Astros. I'm not mad at
No.
Major League Baseball.
The Astros, again, the only teams people get worked up about are the New England Patriots and the New England Patriots.
How would you,
what was the team that broke into the front office? Was that also the Astros or was that the
That
Cardinals?
was
That was the Cardinals breaking into the
hacked
Astros.
into the
that,
Astros, yeah.
That's a bigger deal than this one.
That was like a federal offense.
Yes.
That was like
Yeah.
criminal.
Yeah, you go to jail for that.
How would you? What would your penalty be?
I don't know.
We were kicking around a lot.
Anything short of making them take away all the World Series
No,
stuff.
that doesn't count. You gotta no because vacating
What are you
shit
gonna do?
doesn't
Cut
work.
half the stadium off? What
No,
are
you
gonna
gotta like you have to like it has to be player based. It has to do something to the players.
Baseball's
right?
full of shit, anyways. It's like they knew what? They didn't know like everyone was using fucking steroids. Of course they did.
course they
That's why
did.
I don't think the Astros are the only team doing
Like
this.
fucking, I was
they're
reading
not the only
something,
team.
but
Right.
you got like Gaylord Perry's in the fucking Hall of Fame. He threw like fucking cheated
balls
on. Yeah,
forever,
it's selective. It's like, oh, let's outrage here now. When to be honest, I don't give the fuck. If the Astros did it, I'd commend whoever was the brainchild of it and wish he was my coach
Well.
and go win a championship with that.
Baseball has always celebrated a little cheating inside the game
Yeah.
until it gets to this and they're like, they want to take this big stance. You're exactly right.
What are you gonna do when that brainchild? I mean, he's gonna be suspended for like years.
Are we talking Alex Cora now?
They said that they expect it to be longer than Hinch, right? So, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say 2 seems like I bet you it'll be 3 or more.
Yeah, but again, he'll just get fired and they'll replace him.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's firing. Again, if Alex
That's a
Cora's
weird
bound, I'd be
loophole,
like,
though. I mean, that's a strange
what I
situation
would
where it's
want
like-
my guy to do.
You're punishing Cora in the sense that he's suspended for from the league,
Right.
but the team doesn't really.
I
suffer.
wonder if White Sox Dave has that information because he did text.
I would assume so.
He texted Chuck this morning and he said he had the information and he should have tweeted it, but he did put it in a blog. And then I went and read the blog and he said he had no idea what the punishments were going to be, but he did know they were coming soon and the times don't add up. So I don't know what he knows or doesn't know. And he's very confusing in his mixed messages. Is having the information just knowing that?
it's coming. The information is like
Yeah.
the
That's not
punishments
the
will be today.
information.
That's not really
that's not
anything,
really
yeah.
information.
That's just knowing the information is coming.
Correct.
Right.
But he says he had it. But then he contradicts himself in the blog saying he has no idea. A direct quote, I believe, is they're guarding it closer than Fort Knox. But then in the text
Makes
to
me worry about Fort Knox.
the text, right?
Well,
the
he
text
also
to-
he wouldn't want to burn a source or anything if he did have it. I bet you he
Oh,
wouldn't
he's
say
got
anything.
sources for sure.
I said that the minor league team should have to play, or you have to make the Astros travel by bus.
All
you have to treat
season
them
or
like
for like a
minor
month?
leaguers the whole year. If the Astros had to take a bus everywhere and live minor league life, that actually impacts. Like players don't want to come play for that team.
I like that a lot more.
Yeah, you got to affect the players on the field right
Didn't
now.
we have this long time ago when Bregman basically admitted to Carabas that they were cheating? Remember that game he told us to bet? Like,
Yeah.
That wasn't even a long time ago. That
No,
was,
I
that
know.
was
He's
in
like
October.
game,
And
game,
that
bet,
was-
game 2 because
Against
we're going to
Strasburg.
cheat. Yeah, we cheat for
And then
Strasburg.
Bregman hit a home run.
Yeah, right.
That also, we were talking about Kershaw today. I mean, the Astros in their cheating is what like basically completely ruined Kershaw's legacy. It was like that game that really did him in.
St. Louis. It was St.
Yeah,
Louis.
that was the final nail in the coffin in Houston.
AB crazy, just throwing gummy dicks at the cops and N-words, and I don't know what was going on.
How you gonna get a bill if you don't even have a job, but you can't even pay the insurance? Broke ass. Bag of dicks. Chuck, it's the bag of dicks. Take that bitch to jail, man. She was basic. She don't want to know. Bitch trying to steal a Billy, bitch, you can't even pay for the insurance.
But
The kid in the street. that was
meltdown,
tough.
meltdown city from AB.
Yep.
How-
That was some dark, depressing shit with the family
he
there.
keeps upping the crazy bar. When's he going to run out? What's the
he's-
end game
he's,
here?
I hate to say he's on the death pole. He's in the death suicide.
Do you
pool.
think that there's any chance he would accept Logan Paul's boxing challenge?
I hope so because I will empty my bank account on him. Why do people think Logan Paul can beat up AB?
An
much
NFL
bigger than
Who
Pro
cares?
Bowler.
He's the quickest motherfucker of all time. I would
I
go.
don't think AB's like a fighter though.
Who cares?
Well, I mean, you got to be able to fight in a boxing match.
Point him to death. I would literally go to the ends of the earth if I could get it. If I knew I could promote this fight and then I could bet unlimited, AB would
Have
destroy
you watched
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul box?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not horrible. This guy. Do you know how quick AB is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
he's pretty
world-class
fast.
athlete.
Pretty fast.
He would
Yeah.
destroy Logan Paul. Destroy. Edelman arrested. Who cares? This story. Listen. There's rumors he was set up by Goodell. I heard that. I don't think so. Potentially connections with Nazi Germany and Mercedes vehicles and stuff of that nature. But how about the guy like Nick Wright? See Nick Wright, that fucking idiot, trying to say this somehow has to do and yet people say OBJ is a bad teammate, but
Yeah.
Edelman's good. Comparing this, this guy's jumped on a hood for a second. What are you talking
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a good look from Edelman, but it doesn't
about?
affect
How's
the.
a teammate? It's not good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's like OBJ is a consistent pain in the ass for his
On
teammates.
For multiple teams.
During the
On
season.
the field.
Yeah, on the
when
field.
he knows he's going to be
has-
a distraction.
And everybody has to ask their questions about him and all that shit. Yeah, but I also don't think. So what did he do? Did he cannonball
Jumped
on top
up on
of
the
someone's car?
hood of a car, right?
He was walking on the street. There was a Mercedes-Benz, which has a long German history. He's Jewish, proud Jew. He's walking on the street. He sees the car. He tries to exact a measure of revenge, jumps on the hood, happens to be in Beverly Hills, happens to be a robbery happening right next door, and someone snitched. Misdemeanor.
Where exactly would rumors of Goodell setting him up come from?
That
Couldn't
connection I just said. The Nazi Germany, Mercedes,
I
proud
see.
Jew, robbery next door.
This is what happens when the Patriots aren't playing in January, though. They don't have to do it themselves.
Well,
It's
it
a
was
meltdown.
also a slow day in the NFL yesterday, so you need something for people to talk about football. Post show. I felt like no, I don't think
You got nothing?
No.
Good
Pizza
post-show.
review coming out? When? Or is it already out?
Tonight.
Tonight?
My new friends.
Is this the guy that asked about my fight?
Yeah. Henry
Golding.
Yeah.
He's
What
a
a world. I
He's
mean,
a superstar.
Yeah.
like, he is a mega star, super handsome,
Yep.
bajillionaire on deck, probably going to win awards. You, not too long ago, my bookie, whatever. I mean, just the butterfly effect
Illegal.
of everything.
That's, by the way, working for an illegal
Yeah.
operation.
No, I was just a contract employee. I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, this is
Illegal.
like, this is like the guys on the Astros. I didn't know anything about it.
I
I was
didn't
just
know anything about it.
listening to the
It was an
garbage
illegal
cans.
operation.
I was just in Tupelo, Mississippi,
I,
minding my business.
I didn't know that you couldn't get
Is
your
that
money out.
that
I didn't know
song,
you were
Tupelo
stealing.
Honey?
Tupelo Honey, Van Morrison.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah, it's a very good song. Elvis was born in Tupelo,
No, I didn't know that.
You knew that.
No.
You should have known that.
No.
1936.
All right.
How funny though. I mean,
funny.
out of everything for that guy to be like, yeah, but like
That
out of all the
Avocado Ross.
storylines, yeah.
That like two deep storylines. All right.
How much does it bother you? You said Matt instead of Matthew. Is that eating at you? You're okay with it?
No,
would
is that
bother
like
me.
a known thing?
No, but that's why I don't blame you for it. But if Matthew McConaughey had to correct me right off the bat, I'd be like, fuck.
But we became, as the review progressed, it's not rocket
Kind of
science, I
erased
know
it.
it's You just mentioned Texas football.
It's the-
I
it's
think
the
he'd invite
easiest,
me
like-
to a game. Like he
Yeah.
just, he'll talk Texas football
Yeah.
forever. All right, that's it. It's a rundown. Tonight, again, we will be at FanDuel live stream, so check it out.